Josh Wise, thanks for sitting down with TalkToDrivers.com.
Thank you for having me.
How did you get your start in racing?
Man, like a lot of the kids out here probably, I used to just enjoy watching it on TV with my parents. And, it's cool because this is the type of racing I watch, is what we're here doing tonight. We watch Thursday Night Thunder. I sit and watch it with my dad every week. And, so that kind of spawned my interest. And then I got a quarter midget when I was 7 years old, and it's kind of came over from there.
What was it like to win the USAC title?
It was awesome. Both of them. The midgets were always something that I really just was into. I always thought the midgets were like the coolest race cars when I was growing up. So to win that my second year back was just, there couldn't have been a better thing for me to achieve it at that point in my life. That was always my dream growing up. So to do that and then, do the sprint car the next year and just the opportunity to come and race like I've had, for Tony and for all the cool owners that I've got to run for, Terry Riggs here at Lawrenceburg and last night at Gas City. It's just been awesome. I definitely never expected to have the opportunity that I've had.
What was it like driving for Tony Stewart?
It was cool, Tony was he was my hero when I was little. I told Tony this story. I've told it several times, but when I was like 10 years old, I went to a midget race at Paris, and it was like I'd watch Tony on Thursday Night Thunder on TV, and went down the pits, and I had my number 9. He was driving for Steve Lewis at the time. Had my number 9 hat, and had Tony sign it. And one of the guys that was with me and my parents, jokingly said to Tony, "Hey, watch out for this kid. He's gonna be banging wheels with you one day." And then, 8-9 years later, Tony's hiring me to drive his race car. So it's really funny, and it was really cool. And I'm really glad that I got to develop that relationship that I have with him.
What are your racing goals?
Just to be the best every night. Like last night at Gas City. I really wanted to do good because I've always struggled at Gas City, and Casey, who's my teammate over there, Terry's son, he asked me, do you like this track? And I said, Casey, it's my favorite track tonight. It's gonna be my favorite track tonight because I'm doing good tonight. I'm gonna give it all I got. So every night, every time I get in the race car, I just want to come out and know that I gave it my all, and I'm pretty critical of myself out there and performances. So it's a tough crowd to please, trying to please myself racing, but I'm always trying.
Of the old school drivers, who would you like to compete against? Name at least 3.
Well, it depends on what you're considering old school. I've competed against the guy, a lot of the guys I wanted to. I've raced with Tony, and got to be teammates with Jay Drake, who was just like my, another one of my heroes growing up. I used to watch him at Ventura Speedway and Lawson's car, and just always admire these guys so much. Dave Darlin. So like I said earlier, it's crazy that it's all kind of played out the way it has, and that I've had that opportunity to race with my heroes.
Do you have plans to start your own sprint car team one of these days?
Sure, if I stumble across some money to do it, that'd be awesome. I love helping younger kids out, and just I'm really liberal with my information to people, because a lot of people have helped me out along the way, and I want to do the same. So some of these newer kids and this stuff come and ask me questions, and I really tell them all I can and try to help them as much as I can, because in the end you can tell someone all you want, but whether they apply it right or apply it in a way that's going to work for them, that's up to them. You know what I mean? So I'll give anyone all the information I can and try to help them out. And I think it's cool that when younger kids are really focused and ask the right questions and stuff like that.
Do you have a favorite racetrack?
I guess it depends on what category you're going in. My favorite thing that I've done in a race car to date, I got to do last year. The Michael Waltrip's Cup team was testing at VIR, which is a road course for upcoming Series Point race, and I just drove up there and I brought my gear bag. You know, I told him I was going to come hang out, and I just brought my gear bag with, and I was like, I'm going to ask him, you know, I'm going to ride him all day about getting to drive this car. I'd never been on a road course in my life except for, you know, Fast Times in Indy, the little indoor go-kart track. So sure enough, it was like 3:30 in the afternoon, and they were pretty much buttoning everything up, I could tell. So I asked our test team, head of the test team, Mark, you know, I asked him, and he kind of didn't answer. So I waited about 30 minutes to about 4 o'clock, and I said, Mark, let me hop in that thing. I've got my gear bag. And he said, you got your gear bag? And I said, yeah. And he goes, all right, we're done. We'll put a set of tires that we've been running on it. You can go run some laps. So I got to go out and run about an hour at VIR and a Cup Car road course, and I've never run on a road course before in my life, and it was probably the most fun I've ever had. I think because it was such a new experience with the shifting and using the curbs to turn the car and trying to remember all the 17 corners of what's coming up and going over hills, and it was really awesome. And I'd really like to race some road course stuff if I ever get an opportunity to.
What do you prefer more, the midgets or the sprint cars?
You know, I've always been a midget guy, but it kind of goes back to like the racetrack thing. I mean, whatever I'm racing that day is my favorite car. You know, I like to race. I mean, it sounds funny, but it's not like Forrest Gump or something, but I like to race. And so whatever I'm doing, if I'm going to Fast Times to ride go-karts, that's my favorite race car that day. You know, if I'm coming here in a sprint car, it's my favorite race car.
Josh Wise, thanks for sitting down with DrDrivers.com.
All right, thanks.